Sahana bhavatu, sahana bhunaktu, sahaviryam karavavahai, tejasvinapadhitamastu ma vidvishabhai. Om Shanti Shanti Shantihim. May Brahman protect us, may he guide us, may he give us strength and right understanding. May love and harmony be with us all. Peace, peace, peace be unto all. Vedantasara of Sadananda Yogendra. In our last two classes, we discussed about Sadananda's chosen deity and his guru. And we talked about what is Vedanta. Sadananda mentioned Vedanta Namu Upanishad Pramanam Tad Upakarini Sharirako Sutradini Cha. Vedanta means Upanishads, Brahma Sutra, and the Bhagavad Gita, as well as the commentaries of Shankara and other Vedanta books also. Vaisya Vedanta Prakaranatva Tadyui Eva Unubandhai Tadvatta Siddhi Nate Prithak Alochaniya. On account of its being a Prakarana treatise of Vedanta, the Anubandhas, preliminary questions of the latter, serve its purpose as well. Therefore, they need not be discussed separately. As I told you, Vedantasara is a Prakarana Grantha. What is the Prakarana Grantha? A book which is not the whole book, it is the part of the whole Vedanta, but it serves the main purpose of the whole book. You may say it is the essence. What is the whole book? Well, the whole book, all this theory and practice and all Vedanta literature, that is the whole book. But this book will tell you in essence what really Vedanta is. Jiva Brahma Aikyam, individual soul and Brahman are identified, are one. This world which you see through the senses is continuously changing. It does not have absolute reality, it has relative reality. You see, when we study Vedanta, please remember two things. First, Paramarthik, absolute, and relative. Absolute is Brahman. Relative is Jeev Jagat. These individual beings and the universe, relative. Now, what is this? Now they are going to discuss the subject matter of this book. You are a student of Vedanta, you want to study this book. I like to know what is the subject matter of the book before I begin to study. So Sadananda Yogendra is now going to tell us the subject matter. Anubandha. Anubandha. You see, without any motive, even a stupid person does not do any work. There must be some motive, some purpose. Why should I go to Vedanta society? Why should I study this Vedanta? There must be some motive, incentive. Otherwise, you people will not come after a long drive, after eating food, perhaps after a whole day hard work. you have come here to listen to this class. What is the purpose? What is the motive of this coming and studying? That Sadananda Yogendra wants to say. He will tell us, Ajnano nivritti paramananda praptihi, cessation of ignorance and attainment of bliss. That is the purpose. That is the prayojanam. He will tell, first, Tatra anubandhanama adhikara vishayo sambandhara prayojanani. The preliminary questions of Vedanta are the determination of the competency of the student, the subject matter, its connection with the book, and the necessity for its study. Incentive. This little book will give you an incentive to go through this Vedanta literature, to understand it fully. Every Hindu scripture deals with these 4 questions at the outset. Adhikari, Vishaya, Sambandha, Prayojanam. Adhikari. You want to be a student of Vedanta, what is your qualification? Qualification is very important. If you go to a medical school, pre-med, you'll have to go to in the college, then they will see your grade and they will see what type of a student you are. There are thousands of students who want to join the medical school, but only perhaps 100 will be accepted. There is a hard test to go to the medical school. Similarly, there will be a test. You really want to be a student of Vedanta, you must pass through these tests that he is going to talk to us first. Second, Vishwa, subject matter. I like to know before I start to, when you go to a college, after first or second year, you will have to take a measure. When I want perhaps math or philosophy or whatever, what is your major? You are going to graduate, to have your graduation. But before graduation, you must have a major. Specialized, you want to be specialized in a particular subject. So I want to know what is the subject. Then Sambandha, relationship. Between this book and this subject, what is the relationship between these two? Why should I study this book? Then Prayojanam, necessity. What purpose will it serve to me? What is the necessity? The qualifications for the study of Vedanta. It is very difficult to become a true student of Vedanta. Adhikari tu vidhivat udita ved vedangatvena apato akhilagato apatataha odhigato akhila vedartho smin janmani janmantareva kaima nishiddha varjana purasaram nitya naimittika prashchitta upasanena anushthanena nirgato nikhila kalmasataya nitanto nirmala swantaha sadhana chatushtaya sampanna pramata. The competent student is an aspirant who, by studying in accordance with the prescribed method, the Vedas and Vedangas, the books auxiliary to the Vedas, has obtained a general comprehension of the entire Vedas, who, being absolved from all sins in this or in a previous life, by the avoidance of the actions known as kaimya, rites performed with a view to attaining a desired object, and nishiddha, those forbidden in the scriptures, and by the performance of actions called nitya, daily obligatory rites, and noimittika, obligatory on special occasions, as well as by penance and devotion, has become entirely pure in mind, and who has adopted the 4 sadhanas, or means, to the attainment of spiritual knowledge. Well, Swami, you read, we could not follow what you said. It is true. I shall break it. Then you will understand what I mean. This student of Vedanta is a true aspirant. He wants to know the truth. He is a seeker of truth. And he is searching the truth from a teacher. So, Vidhivat, he studies this Vedanta according to the prescribed rules. But Swami, what is the prescribed rules? First, he goes to a teacher and take lessons from the teacher. He serves his teacher. He shows his humility, his surrender. He surrenders himself to the teacher. Please teach me. I like to know the truth. We shall find that how he goes to his guru. Sadananda Yogendra will tell us. Samit Pani Shrotriyam Brahmanishtam. He goes to a teacher who is Brahmanishtam, whose mind is established in God. He goes with sacrificial fire in hand, with humility, with love, with devotion. If you show your sincerity, your love, your devotion, your guru will expose his whole heart, his whole wisdom, whole learning to you. And if you show your ego, your haughtiness, you won't be able to learn from your guru. Sri Ramakrishna used to say, water accumulates in the lower place, not on the top of the mountain. So all good qualities will come to the student who is humble. Vidhivat Odhita Veda Vedanga. Well, Swami, what is Vedanga? There are 6 in number. First is Shiksha, the science of proper articulation and pronunciation. In Taittiriya Upanishad, there is in the very beginning, Shiksham Vyaikasyamaha Varnaswara Matra Balam Sama Santana Itukta Shikshadhyaya. What is Shiksha? You must pronounce correctly. You must know how to articulate this Vedic wisdom, these Vedas, these Upanishads. Second, Kalpa, rituals of the ceremonies. Then Vyakarana, you know the grammar. Next, Nirukta, etymological explanation of difficult Vedic words. Chandas, the science of prosody. Jyotisha, astronomy. These are called Vedangas. So if you really want to study the Vedas, you must know the Vedangas. If you want to study Shakespeare, if you do not know English grammar, if you do not know the English words, how can you study Shakespeare? How can you study Bible if you do not know the ABC of English language? Like that, if you want to read the Vedas, you must study these Vedangas. So he goes to a teacher, and the teacher systematically will teach you. You cannot have a PhD degree without going through school and college and all these things, all these years. So the Sadananda Yogendra says, a true student must go in a very systematic way. Vidhivat. You must, this says, Upanayanru Vidhi, and you must be initiated. Initiation is called the second birth. You want to be born spiritually, so you need initiation. Then, Guru Grihe Vasham, you will have to live with your Guru. Then you will have to practice the disciplines, self-control. That is called Vidhivat. Odhikari tu Vidhivat, Odito Veda Vedanketena. Then Apatato Odhigato Akhilo Vedartho Spin Janma Janmantareva. But Swami, will he attain the whole Vedic knowledge before he becomes a student? No. Apatato. Just you can grasp, the ideas. A stupid student cannot grasp the ideas in the very beginning. You are an intelligent person, you have a power of discrimination, so just the preliminaries grasp some ideas. You see, if a scientist wants to discover anything, he does not go into darkness. He has some preconceived ideas that on this subject I am going to do research, and this is my topic, this is my subject. He gets this wisdom, knowledge from the teacher, and it is not the highest knowledge. It is not the knowledge of Brahman, just preliminary. What is Brahman? At least intellectually I know what Brahman is. I know what human beings are. I know what this world is. Intellectually I know. But the real spiritual experience is different. Intellectual conviction and spiritual experience are not the same. Spiritual experience will transform your life. Intellectual conviction does not transform the life. For the reason they say that Brahmavid Brahmaiva Bhavati, a knower of Brahman becomes Brahman. You see, sometimes people do not understand what God realization is. The more you think about God, the more you study about God, the more you meditate on God, all godly qualities will enter inside you. Then what happens? Your behavior, your talk, your lifestyle will be godly. Do you know what that Sri Ramakrishna says? Here is a knife. If that knife is touched by philosopher's stone, it becomes gold. And with that gold knife, you cannot cut anything. It is so soft. You cannot cut vegetables, you cannot cut anything. Similarly, when a person becomes extremely spiritual, his whole life becomes changed. It is not possible for that person to do anything wrong. His mind is luminous. He sees what is right, what is wrong. He cannot hurt anybody. He cannot hate anybody. He cannot avoid anybody. He becomes full of love, full of wisdom, full of compassion. It emanates from his body, his mind, his whole system. But the intellectual person may be very learned, he might have several PhDs. That means nothing. So, you must study this Vedanta from a teacher. According to his instruction, you must follow. You must proceed in this journey. Now the question arises, but we find in the scripture there are Vidura, Vamodeva, there are some spiritual, in Viduras, we find in the Mahabharata, Vamodeva, in some Upanishads. They became illumined without studying the Vedas. How is it possible? Raman Maharshi. People say that without Guru he was illumined. How is it possible? They say that not in this life, in the previous life he studied. He practiced all these things, and those things are aligned to their system. They came to their system automatically, so they don't need any guru or teacher. They are very special souls. For that reason they say, Osmin Janmani Janmantareva, either in this life or in the previous life. This student purified himself. Otherwise the desire to know God will not come. If you are not pure, your desire to know God will not come, because you have that godly qualities inside. For that reason you are seeking, you are searching yourself. It is an amazing phenomenon, That Pascal says you would not seek God if you would not know what God is. If you had no taste about God, you would not seek God. You have tasted in an indirect way that really, if I practice meditation, if I practice spiritual disciplines, I shall get peace, I shall get joy. You see, you know that where is peace, where is joy. For the reason you are studying these scriptures, this Vedanta. Apatato, odigato, akhilo vedarthosmin, janmani, janmantareva. He gets some preliminary knowledge about the Vedanta. I am talking about the beginner, a student. Some people come, Swami, I read Swami Vivekananda's Jnana Yoga or Raja Yoga. I like to know more about Vedanta. Just see that he has some kind of exposure, some kind of preliminary knowledge about Vedanta. Some people say, Swami, I read Christopher Isharuch Sri Ramakrishna's life and I got interested in Vedanta. Many people came that way, So that means these people have some kind of preliminary knowledge that he is talking about. Then, Kaimo Nishuddha, he was talking, there are various kinds of karmas. Those things we shall discuss separately. Sadananda Yogendra will explain each karma separately. Now, Vidhi. Javala Upanishad says, Brahmacharya samaipya grihi bhavet, grihi bhutta boni bhavet, boni bhutta prabrajet, yodiva itartha, brahmacharya va prabrajet, grihadva vanadva. Generally, people go from one stage of life to the other. First, finish your student life, then be a householder, get married, have children. From that life, you go to the next stage. Boniv, go to the forest in a recluse, forest retreat. There you practice your sadhana. Panchashardam punang brajet. After 50, you must renounce home. You must go in seclusion. You see, they divided 100 years this way. First 25 years, student life. Next 25 years, marriage life, householder's life. Next 25 years, life of the recluse. They call it Vanaprastha. Between householder's life and the monastic life, in between, next 25 years. Next 25 years, prayer, meditation, study, retire after 50. Well, Swami, we shall have to wait till 65 until and unless we get the social security, you see. I was telling one doctor, he is Swami Prabhu, one of the disciples, I said, You have a guru, you have a mantra, you have a ishta, what else do you want? Swami, social security check. So anyhow, next 25 years, you 25 years family life is enough. Now you tell your children, now you boys, girls, you take care of yourselves. I gave you good education, now you take care of yourself. Then after 75, complete renunciation. Then, but Swami, is it necessary that everybody will have to follow the same method? No. Jodi ba itoratha prabrajet grihadva banadva. Jodi, if you have intense desire for God, you have tremendous renunciation. You can renounce from any stage. Jadhareva birajet, tadhareva prabrajet. The moment you feel intense renunciation, renounce it then and there. You see, this is the dictum of the Upanishads, Jabala Upanishad. You will not have to wait that after 50 I shall renounce. No. You can jump from student's life to monastic life, or from householder's life to monastic life, or from the life of the forest to the monastic life. From any stage you can jump. Nirgoto nikhilo kalmashotaya, nitanto nirmala santo, sadhana chantushtayo sampanna prada. He has performed kaima karma, he has renounced the kaima karma, some desiring some result of action, nishiddha karma, forbidden action, then nitya karma, noimitya karma, prashita. These things I shall explain one by one, so I am not going to explain it here. Then when he goes through this karma yoga, unselfish action, do you know what happens? As I told you, Shankara says the three things, please always watch. When you come to Vedanta, first do your karma yoga. Karma yoga will clean your mind. Unselfish action will clean your mind. When the mind becomes clean, then comes upasana. Spiritual disciplines, that mind will be one-pointed. It will bring concentration to your mind. The third stage, with that concentrated mind, you practice deep meditation. That will bring illumination to you. So karma yoga is very vital. That is the preliminary, first stage. Then prayer and meditation. You see, if the mind is too much impure, you cannot meditate. Impossible. This evening one young boy was calling me, Swami, I want God right now. And I want to practice Raja Yoga with you. Please give me instruction. I know he has some very bad habits. I told him what to do. I said, you cannot meditate. Your mind is very restless. Your mind is very impure. I can tell you what to do. You spend 3 hours a day for your meditation and study. Half an hour, you see, meditation, half an hour at present is quite enough. Half an hour meditation, 1 hour study. That is morning, 1.5 hours. And evening, half an hour meditation, 1 hour study. So 3 hours for meditation and study. You go and work 6-7 hours a day so that you can forget your past bad actions. You are brooding all these things, staying with the parents, eating and brooding. It is not good. You need hard work. Responsibility must come that way. So go, work. And come to Vedanta, attend our lectures and classes. And then slowly, you will be steady. Some people come and go. They think it is a club. It is not a club. Hold the truth. It takes a systematic study, I tell you frankly. Nirgoto nihilo kalma. Kalmas means bad tendencies, impurities of the mind. It must be cleaned if you want to be a student of Vedanta. Then nitanto nirmala swanta sadhana chatushtaya sampanno pramata. His heart is clear, mind is pure, and he has practiced 4 Vedantic disciplines. Then he is a true student of Vedanta. You remember we asked Maharaj, if I have those things, I know all these Vedas and the Vedangas and all these karmas, I have, bad karmas, I have cleaned myself from the bad karma, and I am well trained, well disciplined, then already I am illumined. Well, you are right. Now listen, how these karmas, Sadananda Yogendra is now going to explain to us what karma is. Kim karma kim akarmeti kavayo apyatra mohita. Krishna says, what is action, what is inaction. Even the men of wisdom get confused. We sometimes do not know what is real, what is true, what is untrue, what is my duty, what is not my duty. The karma, gahana karmana gotihi. This path of action is very inscrutable, very complicated. What is duty to you that may not be duty to me? What is duty to me that may not be duty to you? This work, a path of action, is really complicated. Each person is different. Each person's karma is different. Each person's tendencies are different. Each person's goal is different. You cannot put all people in the same straight jacket. That's Vedanta says. You see, in Christianity, you have a common prayer. We don't have common prayer. Kanyani sargadishta sadhanani jyotishthumadini. The sacrifices such as jatishtama, etc., which enable their performance to get the desired fruits, such as living in heaven, etc., are known as kaima karma. Kaima karma. Kaima means desire. I want to perform an action or a sacrifice so that my action or sacrifice will fulfill my desire. I have a desire. What is your desire? I want to be the President of the United States. I have a desire. What is your desire? I like to be a millionaire. I want to be successful. I want to be a monk. I want to go to heaven. You see, you ask people, you will find that each person will tell you that he or she has a has a desire. That person might have many desires, but one desire is a very main desire. You see, most of the people like to go to heaven. The Sadananda Yogendra is telling, do you know, many people practice various kinds of sacrifices so that they could go to heaven. Jyotishthamena sargakama jajita, with a view to going to heaven, perform the Jyotishtama sacrifice. But Swami, what is Jyotishtama sacrifice? In Vedic period, there was a creeper called Shoma. And they used to extract juice from the Shoma. It has an intoxicating effect. And that juice you will have to offer, and you will have to repeat the mantras. So while repeating those mantras are like jyoti, like light, luminous, because these mantras will take you to the realm of gods. For the reason it is called Jyotishtama. So if you recite those mantras, if you perform that Jyotishtama sacrifice, you will go to heaven. Most people want heaven, celestial enjoyments. Now the question arises, when I die, this body is gone. So how shall I enjoy? If you want to enjoy, you need a body. Without body, you cannot enjoy. So I have no body, how can I go and enjoy in heaven? The scripture says that at that time you have a luminous body, subtle body. With that subtle body, you will get subtle enjoyments. Dibbhushuri, they get divine bodies, celestial bodies. Now, so you understand what is kaima karma. These karmas are enjoined by the scriptures. There is nothing wrong to do this karma if you have desires. But Vedanta cautions you, look, if you go to heaven, how do you go to heaven? Through your virtuous deeds, very good karma. Many good karmas you have done in your life, so you have gone to heaven. When the result of that good karma will be ended, you will have to come back to this earth. The thing which is created is subject to destruction. If the Christian, Muslims, these people don't believe it. Well, if I go to heaven, that's it. No more coming back. Krishna mentioned in the Gita, Kshine punye martalokam vishanti. When you finished your karma, the result of your karma in heaven, again you will have to come back to this earth. Take an example. You have $1 million. You think, I have plenty of money, I will not have to earn any more money. So you bought home, you bought car, and you are living a luxurious life. One day you find there is no money in the bank. All are gone. Similarly, because all the result of your money, of your hard earning and saving are gone, now again you are moneyless. Similarly, when you consume the result of your good action, that's over. You come back to this earth. This is called karma bhumi. You cannot do new action in heaven or hell. This earth, this world is called karma bhumi, the land, the field of action. Good and bad only you can do in human body. In divine body, you cannot do any bad action. That is the result of the good action, you see. In sub-human body also, you cannot do new action. At that time, discrimination, the power of discrimination is not there. Animal beings are guided by instincts. Human beings are guided by reason. And divine beings are guided by inspiration, intuition. So now you know what is kaima karma. Kaima karma means the action which a person performs to fulfill his or her desire. Second, nishiddhani, narakadi, onishta sadhanani, brahmana hananadini. Actions such as the slaying of a Brahmin, etc., which bring about undesired results, as going to hell, etc. And nishiddha karma are forbidding actions, forbidding acts. Nishiddha karma, forbidden action. This is also in the scriptures. That you are not supposed to kill a Brahmin, you should not kill cows, you should not speak the untruth, you should not commit adultery, you should not drink wine, you should not steal, like 10 commandments, you see, as we find in the Moses 10 commandments or in Christian literature. These are the things you are not supposed to do. Nishiddha karma, forbidden actions. If you do, what will happen? You will get suffering, pain. If you murder somebody, you will have to either you will be hanged or you will be in jail, lifetime imprisonment. Bas. A lot of suffering, pain. And if you do bad action in this body, you will get various kinds of disease. Bad karma brings bad disease. We find both in the Christian scriptures and the Hindu scriptures and the Jewish scriptures, Muslim scriptures, you will find they try to discourage people not to commit any kinds of bad actions. Do you know why? So that they tell that hell and suffering and all these things, just to frighten people, don't do these things. Because we need a good society. We need the society, peace and harmony in the society. One person can create such a commotion in the whole society. Just like, see, recently 3 bomb blasts in Israel created such a fear and tension and chaos in the whole country. Who are doing, perhaps a handful of people made this human bomb and killing people in Jerusalem, in Israel. A few people. Not too many people. Most of the people are good. Just see 1 or 2 people can create such a chaos in the society. Destructive power. These are called tamasic actions. Sattvic action, Rajasic action, tamasic action. This tamasic action brings tamasic results. Disaster, death, hell. If you study Manu Samhita, the code of Manu, you will find a vivid description of hell and how people suffer and what bad action leads to what bad result in his life. All these things are in the code of Manu. Similarly, the Brahmaloka, the heaven and all this, how much joy, peace and all these things, that also is there. When a person does bad action, that person becomes ugly. Physically, mentally, morally, spiritually, becomes ugly. His nature becomes ugly. That is a kind of hell. He carries a hell inside, and those who come in contact with them, he shares, because he carries that thing, he shares only that hell. I was interviewing a person that person was a drug addict. Not only that, he's a drug pusher. He ruined his own life and he is ruining others' life also in school. I asked him that, how do you get money? Who gives you money to take the drug? Oh, Swami, I sell drug also. That is the way I make money. Sometimes when I interview, I ask, well, how much? Oh, Swami, $250, 1 ounce marijuana, it goes 1 month. My gosh, how do you get money? I work in a restaurant. And goes to school. I go to school also. Working hard in between his work, and with that money, he is ruining his own life. Why do you do? Just everybody does. If everybody wants to go to hell, if ruin their lives, you want to ruin your life. You are right, Swami. But if I do not do, they will think that I am strange. Just see. Disaster. Swami, in my class everybody smokes. Sometimes when I interview these young boys, sometimes I feel what is going on in the society. I have very little knowledge, These young kids sometimes bring knowledge to me. I learn from them what is going on. You see, in the beginning of your spiritual life, if you do not learn how to be disciplined, how to control yourself, how to go within, it is very difficult afterwards to control, to change. In old age it is very difficult because all these years of samskaras, habit are formed. But those who are sincere, have a tremendous determination, they can change their lives at any time. A auntie, Miss Josephine MacLeod, she used to say, she used to tell her birthday after the day she met Swamiji. Well, that is my birthday. She was a few years older than Swamiji, but she used to count her birthday after she met Swamiji. Well, that is my birthday. From that day onwards, I began to change my life. I sometimes say, follow at least 3 years. And after 3 years, you tell me that whether you have achieved something or not. Follow the instruction, practice it. You will find really 3 years back, you look at your back and you see, my goodness, the person I was and the present, I am not the same person. I have been changed. I am changed. Next, Nityani, Akarane Pratyabhaya Sadhanani Sandha Vandanadini. Daily rites such as Sandha Vandana, etc., the non-performance of which causes harm, are called Nitya Karma. Sandha. A Brahmin boy is initiated with Gayatri Mantra. And he practices that Gayatri Mantra in the morning, at noon, in the evening. If it is not in the noon, at least morning and evening, he will repeat the mantra. I meditate on the effulgent one who is the creator, preserver and destroyer of the universe. May that luminous one guide my intellect to the path of God. That is the meaning of that Gayatri Mantra. So, seeing the rising sun, a Brahmin boy will repeat this mantra 108 times. And again in the evening, watching the setting sun, he will repeat this mantra. Until and unless that boy repeats the mantra, his mother will not give him food. You must repeat mantra first before you come for breakfast or for dinner. You see, there are some beautiful Hindu customs you can absorb in your system. It will not disturb you. Beautiful habit. Swamiji said the Hindu boy never feels hungry until and unless he finishes his meditation. I have seen my mother. Even she was sick, suffering from malaria, fever, headache. If we offer breakfast to her, she won't eat. She will change her cloth. She will go for wash, change her cloth. She will sit in the shrine with fever, with body. She will repeat her mantra. Then again she will go to bed. At that time she will take breakfast. Without repeating mantra, I have never seen my mother to sip a little water in her life. That is called real nishtha, steadfast devotion for God. That is called nitya karma, daily obligatory duties. What does it do? Whatever past things you have done, you see, a daily meditation, morning and evening. I sometimes ask people, if you set the time that I shall sit at 6 o'clock in the morning and 6 o'clock in the evening, you must sit at 6 o'clock, not 6:05 or 5 minutes to 6. You conditioned your stomach that I shall give breakfast at 7 o'clock, lunch at 1 o'clock, and dinner at 7 o'clock. Your stomach will hungry, will demand food. Hi, I am hungry, give me food. Your stomach will demand food because you conditioned your stomach. Similarly, you must condition your mind. I must sit at this time. In this respect, the Muslims are very good. The Muslims, the 5 times prayer. Wherever they are, they will stop the car, seeing watching from our country. They used to see they would face toward the west, because Kaaba, Mecca is west from India. Always they will pray facing the west. The Muslims, we used to see sometimes by the side of the street, by the side of the road in our village, they will spread a napkin or a towel, and with seeing the setting sun, that west is in our country, sun sets in the west, that side. So they are praying to Allah. Nitya karma. Ahara sandham upasita. Shandha. Shandha means, Shandha means, do you know what Shandha means? Shandha means the junction of the day and the night. That is called Shandha. So that time, do you know what happens? The nature, the Prakriti becomes very calm, serene, equilibrium. The nature, the atmosphere, that is the best time for meditation. Just sunset. Sri Ramakrishna did not have a watch. Do you know how he did ascertain whether it is Shandha, evening or not? He used to see the hair of his hand. If he cannot see the hair, that means that is the Shandha. If he can see, that is still day. He did not have any watch. Seeing the hair of his body, he would ascertain that it is the right time for meditation or not. Whereas you will find in the Gospel, there is one place he went to see a theatre. And before he went to the theatre, he went to a devotee's flour mill, where they make flour. So he was seated in the office of that flour mill, and it was Shandha. So he was checking his body, whether the hair of his body is visible or not. He is not visible, he is telling, now I shall think of God, and I shall not drink any water or a sweet. The devotee brought some refreshment, but I cannot eat right now because this is Shandha. I must finish my meditation. He is an illumined soul. He is teaching the devotees that in the evening you must sit. And here our meditation is, television is our meditation, you see. We see all gods and goddesses jumping into television. Only nitya karma, daily obligatory duty, what does it do, Swami? When the time comes, the tree blooms and then it brings fruits. Similarly, when you do any action, good or bad, here, bad action, that bad action waits for a time when it will fructify. The result of the bad action, the suffering, pain will come. It is true, 100% true. Whatever you have done wrong in your life, that result will come to your life. What you sow, so you reap. So nitya karma, a daily, a obligatory duties, destroys that action, the result of bad action. It knocks out. Well, how does it do that? You see, if a thorn pricked into your foot, you take another thorn and take that thorn out and you throw away both. So this good action counteracts the bad action. Well, how? Suppose you did 5 or 10% bad deeds in your life, and you did 90-95% good deeds. So 90-95% good deeds will overshadow your result of your bad deeds. You won't feel it. Result will come, but you won't feel it. Our teacher used to give an example. Here is a 1000-watt electric bulb. Here on the top, there is a little dark tar. Through that, light cannot come. But the remaining part of the electric bulb is luminous, is shedding tremendous light. So that 5 or 10% that cover cannot hamper, cannot disturb your light, cannot disturb your function. Similarly, if 5 or 10% bad deeds you have done in your life, nobody is perfect, you see. So, what is that? It will come, but your daily obligatory duties, the daily virtues, meditation, spiritual disciplines, your good karma, nishkam karma, will counteract that thing and knock it out. Shandha bandhana, it is extremely important. Sit daily for meditation, for prayer, for studying the scriptures. It will protect you like a fort. This nitya karma eradicates various kinds of sin in life according to Monu. Every person practices 5 kinds of sacrifice. Every householder. Brahma Yajna. Brahma Yajna means adhya and adhyapana. Intellectual culture, spiritual culture. Pitri Yajna, you are pouring oblations to your departed ancestors. Deva Yajna, homa, sacrifice, prayer. Bhuta Yajna, giving food to the animals, beasts, birds, subhuman beings. Ebang Niri Yajna, serving human beings, giving food to the poor, helping suffering people, hungry people. Each person must perform these 5 kinds of sacrifices to the rishis, to the sages, through studying the intellectual culture, spiritual culture, serving, praying, sacrificing gods, serving human beings, serving animal, beasts, birds, and serving the main is the departed souls. In this way, you can counteract various kinds of bad deeds in your life. Up to this tonight, because then more karmas are coming, naimittika karma, prashchitta karma, upasana, that we shall discuss in our next class. If you have any questions, please ask.
Swami, I have a question. When these young students come to visit you who like to do drugs, what is their reasoning for coming to see you?
Because do you know why? That person has some very good tendencies. He knows that I'm not doing right. And he is so much hypnotized, he needs a little help. For the reason they come to us. I need a little help. They have very low self-esteem. So this time if you can put him in a routine, perhaps he will be able to overcome his bad tendencies and he will be a nice human being. But he needs some help. He needs some self-assurance. He needs some protection. You see, some people do not understand. Their parents give free reins, go, do whatever you want, perhaps they have money. And that boy ends up in the mental